Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Emily, and I'll be hosting our tour of Hogwarts today. I'm glad we have a rather small group. That way I can answer any personal questions that you may have, and I can give you kind of a more one-on-one experience. So, this is the main hall of Hogwarts, and of course, the Wizarding School is in the castle proper. So, yeah. Oh yes, please, everyone hold your questions till the end. If they haven't been answered throughout the tour, I'll be more than happy to do so at the end. All right? Fantastic. So, the castle itself is Hogwarts, and that is where the name of the school is actually derived from. You'll notice we're in the middle of the mountains here, quite near a loch, and the exact location of Hogwarts is unplottable, really. You can't use any sort of magical charms or anything of that nature to find out where it is, because it's protected by a variety of different charms and spells, things of that variety. The actual school itself was established around the 9th or 10th century. We're not quite sure exactly when. It's considered to be one of the finest magical institutions in the world of wizardry. And there are a couple of other schools, of course. There's Beauxbatons Academy and Drumstring Institute. But, well, this is sort of the cream of the crop, so to speak. I might be a bit biased though because I am an alumni, but yes. What I want to pay extra close attention to is the fact that many of the rooms here that you'll find, they do move around quite a bit. Nothing stays in the exact location it was in. Even yesterday, things have changed, between yesterday and today, of course. So there are 3 main towers. There's the Astronomy Tower, the Ravenclaw Tower, and the Gryffindor Tower. And there are around about 142 staircases, though that can differ quite a bit depending upon the day and the mood of the castle. And also, the castle itself is sat upon these huge rocks, so it can be a bit unstable at times, but if it does ever shift, there are a variety of enchantments that prevent it from plummeting into the lake. So you're perfectly safe while you're here doing the tour. Now, let's see here. I would like to preface this also by saying that I am a bit under the weather. I have a linguistic virus at this point, so you may notice that my accent shifts a bit during our tour, and I do apologize for that. It's just the nature of the illness. I've had it for about a week, and it'll come and go, but I'll have flare-ups. In fact, all day yesterday I was speaking in a very fluent southern accent and deep south, and it was a bit, well, a bit confusing for most people, to say the least, especially those who know me. But I will do my best to keep it all on track. Alright, so let's go ahead and move on to the first hallway here. And this is our kind of museum area. And you'll notice here that there are a variety of portraits. And for instance, this one's of Godric Gryffindor, and that one's Helga Hufflepuff, and over there you have Rowena Ravenclaw, and there's Salazar Slytherin. So they're kind of our founding fathers and mothers. Okay, I'm looking at my notes here, I'm so sorry. The saying goes that after founding the school, Slytherin had a bit of a disagreement with the other members of the other founding members, and he wanted to only admit the purebloods, and of course they wanted to kind of have an open door policy, and So yeah, that's a little bit of a backstory there for you. That's also round about the time that he developed the Chamber of Secrets, which we all know about now. And so yes. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. I'm so sorry. I've only been doing these tours for about a month now, so I can get a little bit shaky at times, but I'll do my very best, especially since I'm feeling under the weather. Okay, the term here begins every 1st of September, and the pupils, will arrive on the Hogwarts Express. The first years come in on the lake, on little rowboats. It's quite quaint with little lanterns and quite a sight to behold. Let's see, well, let's go ahead and see here. This is the common room. Yes. This is where children of the Gryffindor house would typically gather after eating their dinner at the main dining hall. I can't show you the main dining hall today because it's undergoing renovations, and by that I mean the spirits are tearing it to bits, and then we'll have to rebuild it again. Every 10 years or so they get a bit tired of the decor, and so we have to revamp the place. That's also where the selection ceremony takes place during the welcoming feast, and with the sorting hat, which you can actually see the sorting hat right here in the hallway. We have it in a glass case there. Yes, it's rather dusty now, but we only clean it about once every year, just to make sure that the magical properties are still intact. All right, now let's get on to, I'm sure, what you all have been waiting to see, some of the classrooms that we have here. This is the Transfiguration room right off here to the left. During a Transfiguration class, the student might expect to learn how to change into another sort of object, or change say a hat into a skirt. I know that's quite boring, but things of that variety. Essentially a transformation. Potions and spells are used. You can also learn how to do vanishing spells, conjuring spells where you can create things out of thin air. This was where Professor McGonagall taught for many years until 1988, when she retired, and since then we've had a few other instructors, but none, of course, have had the notoriety or the fame of Minerva, of McGonagall. Then we have, down the hallway a little bit here, we have a rather sinister room. For many, in fact. It's the Defense Against the Dark Arts classroom, also known as Dada. This is where students learned how to protect themselves against any manner of vicious spells and conjurings and charms, things like that, and of course creatures. Yes. Well, yes, this is where Snape taught, and we've had several instructors, especially during the time when Harry Potter was here. We had a variety of them. It seems like it was a bit of a jinxed position. And this next room here, right down the hall. Yes, please follow me. No, I want to make sure that everyone can hear me. Yes. Charms. This is the charm classroom. And this is charms are a type of spell where you can give an object a new magical property, maybe enchant it a bit. For instance, you can charm your bracelet into say whoever wears it, they're able to deceive anyone or change their appearance, or maybe even just something as simple as luck. This is usually one of the noisiest classrooms. Can get a bit hectic in here. it's a lot of practical learning rather than book learning, though there are a variety of books involved. This was taught by Professor Flitwick for quite some time, and who just recently retired last year before, something like that, from what I'm told. Before my time. Well, my time as a tour guide anyway. I mean, when I was attending here, I didn't take the charm class, and I don't know if I ever even ran into Flitwick, to tell you the truth. Oh well. This next room here is the potion room. This is where you can mix any number of things to create magical effects. Very precise mixtures, though, and it has to be at the right time, the right temperature. For instance, when the moon is full or waning, waxing, and maybe it has to be freezing or near boiling. It is an exact science. Of course, Snape taught here. Professor Slughorn, let's see, several others. Who was it? Mrs. Oh, Professor, of course. Beecham, I think, at one point. Yes. You'll see here the potion bottles all along the wall. Yes, they're all fake. We put them here just for display purposes to show the students what color the potion should be, and with little tags just so that they can identify them. There's even an exam at the end of the term that involves these bottles here, these display bottles. Okay, and now we have one room left, and then I'm going to show you kind of a surprise. This is the History of Magic room. It's mainly lectures, very quick and verbose lectures are typically given here. In fact, there's been one lecture that went for around about 5 or 6 hours. The children were bored to tears, but yes, taught out of books. The lectures are sometimes recorded using magical devices and then replayed on our internal television network. And then also magical theory is taught here. It used to be taught in class 67 on the 4th floor, but it has been moved here, given that the history of magic class is only held about once a week, and so this frees it up the rest of the time for other classes. Now, if you'll follow me, we're just going to go to the balcony here, and I want to show you one quick thing, a little surprise, as I mentioned. If you'll all look down there, there's the Quidditch pitch. And that's where the magic truly happens. We have a match about twice a month now. And of course, we have the wizarding tournaments and things of that nature. It's quite a lot of space, and the stadium is rather substantial. People are always quite impressed by it. I think they think that it's going to be a little less significant, but it does take up quite a bit of room, very demanding of your attention. All right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed. There are going to be refreshments in the foyer downstairs, the main hall, as we like to call it, and I'll actually have Rupert take you down. I have to get ready for my next appointment, but he'll make sure that you end up in the main hall, right? Things probably have shifted in the meantime, so do follow along very carefully. And are there any questions before? No? All right. Well, if you do think of any, just ask Rupert. He'll be more than happy to help you. Terrific. Well, have a lovely stay at Hogwarts.